What is going on, my people? What's going on, my solidifiers? This is Sonia, bringing you a little more soul sense, expand your consciousness and your life once again. Namaste. How has everybody been? I wanted to make a free-form Saturday. I've been working on a new schedule, guys, to bring you all new stuff. And I realized that I want to come with a lot more researched information on things that I have researched. And I just want to make sure I'm on point when I get on live with you guys. But this is free form, and I want you guys just to get a chance to ask me anything. I'm not sure because I'm trying to do this on live to see if I can send messages here. But I'm going to see how this works. Let's see. I wanted to originally do this on Facebook, but I'm trying to bring So I'm trying to see if this is working, but it looks like it is. So I want to bring some love to YouTube because I always make videos on Facebook, and I want to bring some love over to YouTube and my followers on YouTube. Even though that is the case, I'm hoping that we can make that happen here. So I realized that I usually, with the open forums, I have been just doing tarot, and I want to I'm open to that, but I want to kind of open up to all kinds of stuff. And I want to talk about Scientology a bit because it has come up a few times in my life, and I've been doing some research for you guys because I want to answer some of the questions that you might be thinking about when it comes to this subject, because it is apparently a huge billion-dollar business and a church that is across the world. Did you guys know that? And what I found out on this particular religion is so much. Some of it was kind of scary to me, but I'm going to dig a little deep with this subject for you guys, and we'll start here. How to even go from there? Some of the biggest things that I have discovered and I wrote myself some notes, this subject is, it is very, very similar to walking a path of enlightenment in a spiritually positive way. And I'm going to talk about this because for me, I've never really heard anyone else talk about this. So I think this is a powerful place to be. In spirituality, we'll say there are different ways for you to move up the scale of enlightenment and awareness. That is the first step, is self-awareness, like being aware of your spirit, of your soul, of its purpose, its journey, why you're here, the contracts that you sign before you incarnate into this body and have this human experience, your mission on earth in this contract, like what you want to achieve while you're here, what your purpose is. Now, to put a little information on that is that our purpose is to create and be in service to each other and bring light to the world. And light is information. Light is universal information. And being in the dark is to have lack of information and have like limited information and perspective of who you are. Especially most of us just know about our human body. We're not really taught about spirit and how it works and what it is. And I want to dive in a little bit about that, guys, because spirit, your energy is energy, your energy body. It is your energy body. It is that energy that resides within this physical vessel and brings you life. And because of this, it is a powerful place to be in acknowledging and being aware of this. And this is a part of the journey that I always talk about when I say get to know thyself, because a lot of people do not understand the spirit body at all. We're not taught this in school or in religion, in the sense of how it works. It is the dynamics of energy, frequency, and vibration. It's science, guys. There's a science behind our existence and how we exist. And this is through quantum physics. The quantum field, our energy body has a toric field, it has an aura, we have a chakra system. And as you become aware of that and you connect to that and you learn how to meditate and you apply that to your life, you live a healthy lifestyle, you eat healthy, you feed your mind, your body, and your spirit through meditation and eating healthy. All that stuff helps you reach different levels of awareness, because the more you take care of yourself on those levels, the higher you vibrate, the higher the frequency. And with the higher the frequency that you are vibrating on, because everything in existence is frequency and vibration, including you, the more information is able to enter your vessel, and you are able to bring that into your awareness, which brings you to a different level of awareness. And in that, different levels of awareness also include is facing head on your traumas, your experiences, your heartbreaks, your loves, your creations, all of that. It is important to dive deep and acknowledge the stuff that you've gone through, and anything that has brought you any kind of trauma, especially, is a part of self-awareness and graduating to different levels. And this can be achieved through meditation and, of course, past life regression, this practicing and creating a process of mental health. The list goes on. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You can get healing sessions, you can get soul retrieval sessions, you can get energy clearings, aligning your chakras. There's just tons of stuff available that will assist you in your journey. That includes yoga and Tai Chi and all the different modalities, right, to help raise your frequency and vibration. But ultimately, that's what it's all about. It's about raising your frequency and your vibration. And that brings you to different steps of awareness and connectedness. And this is a really powerful place to be, because when you start tapping into this information, that is what's taking you to the next level of awareness and the next level of ascension, the next level of connectedness to the source that you are. Now, in a lot of my videos, all of my videos, I am teaching you how to do this stuff through different modalities. And that is just the basics. I want to step back into what I originally said, and that was this information that I learned about Scientology. And I really didn't know the logistics until, excuse me, my allergies, apparently something's kicking them in right now. But apparently, there's different levels when you sign up to be a part of this church, right? And for me, I have studied many different religions, and Scientology is one of the ones that I'm focused on right now. But I've studied spirituality and Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, and the list goes on. And this is how I've gotten connected to the Ascended Masters and learning about them. But through this specific religion, through Scientology, it was a little scary because it's a lot like living a spiritually conscious life. You have to move up into different levels of how it was set up by L. Ron Howard, right? Um, there's a guy named David Miscavige now that is running the church. But how this is set up, it's like, without getting into too many details or the logistics, but there's levels to it of you have to achieve a certain amount of enlightenment of doing the trauma work, right? And you sit actually with someone. Apparently, you hold on to these copper wire bars that are connected to something. They do some kind of psychokinesis on you, something like that, and it's like psychological reprogramming, and it's basically to move you through your experiences and your trauma. They call it auditing. And this is something that you do each time you go in to see someone, and you move up to a different level, and you move up to a different level, which is a lot like spirituality, because more of the work that you do, except you don't sit there with someone. This work is done with you. As far as spirituality, you are connected to spirit. It's up to you to do the work, connect to your higher self, which is your spirit, your soul, connect to God, your angels, your guides. It's up to you to build those relationships and move into different levels of awareness, chiming in and developing those gifts, as we all have mediumship, psychic abilities, if you will. Just some of us are more connected than others. So for me, I thought it was pretty amazing that this religion has you sit with like an auditor, and you move through these different levels of awareness, and they promise you enlightenment, and where you start tapping into these different things. And as you develop your psychic strength, we'll say, right, you do start getting more ability to connect to the non-physical world in spirituality. And it's the same through Scientology, but they say all kinds of different stuff. You can do all kinds of different stuff. I mean, everything from levitation to which was similar with psychic abilities, and so on and so on. But the difference is that that same level of awareness and enlightenment is used a little bit more, I would say, I want to say on a darker side when it comes to Scientology, from what I'm understanding, because you have to sign it's like a billion-year contract to stay in service, to stay into Scientology, because they are well aware, as you are in spirituality, as you learn, is that your spirit is eternal. You never die. So it's meant for you to be in service from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. I thought that was a big commitment. Not sure I would do that one. I wrote myself some notes, and I wanted to tap in with this. There was another thing. If your family doesn't support you in your journey, you have to totally disconnect from them. And if you don't, there's consequences and stuff in leveling up, or you're even allowed to stay in the practice of Scientology. And as you get into these different levels, I mean, you have to disown your own life. You can't live for your own purpose. And say you have something you want to pursue, your life has to be about Scientology and being service to the church, whatever position that is that you work your way up to, because there's levels to it. Apparently one of the higher ones is called Seaboard, and they're actually Navy positions. And that's all I know as far as that goes. But their role is to do a lot of different things. as far as like recruiting and handling like that level of stuff for Scientology. But they ask you to give up a lot, like your aspirations. You know, if you have a house, they have you they help you sell it because you have to like live on their properties. You can't have your own car, no personal like real belongings, because you like live in their communities. It goes really deep. I was watching some video tutorials on Facebook, and the stuff was kind of really mind blowing because it was people who like lived through Scientology, and it's all different backgrounds. A lot of it is like, um, I got one perspective of a young man who was an aspiring actor and he went into Hollywood, and he explained, like, which I didn't even know this. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there is Scientology churches all over Hollywood, and they actually like have programs where you can go in and they help you get into the industry, and you have to like sign this and buy this book and enter this class and blah blah blah. It's like never ending education, but it's like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that they ask you to continuously be contributing to Scientology, even if you don't have it. Like they figure out a way for you to contribute, and I thought that was really I don't know. For me, I thought that was really, I don't know, I guess a lot, you would want to say. Um, it was the way he had explained it was like a 2.5 hour like documentary. And basically, when you enter, you go to Hollywood, and they have the celebrity house, and then they have this location and that location, and you do this in one location, you go that to this location. And when you first enter, it's so crazy because it's very similar on the steps that you would take when you start entering your path of enlightenment and spirituality. Like it's all about eating healthy. When you eat healthy, you got to detox the body. Like, you know, a lot of us push like the vegan diet and about eating healthy, taking your vitamins and your minerals, but they take it to like a whole nother extreme. I guess you do the same things, but once you're like entered and you're a part of the group, they put you in a sauna for like 4.5 hours a day. And you have to sweat out the toxins from your body, from like all the pesticides and stuff that you eat in your food, in our air, you know, in the products that you use, and all kinds of stuff. And you have to take like certain medications and vitamins and minerals, and you sweat all this out. I heard, according to his story, like a lot of people were getting sick, you know, and there's all different levels of people. He's mentioned that he even met a lot of people in the sweat lodges, horror stories of people like passing out, and they make you like go back in because they teach you kind of, it's a different name basically for ego and the spirit, the like your ego and the spirit. They call it the thetan and mind, like the egoic mind, and then there's your spirit, which is I forgot the main word. This is some of the things that I wanted to write down, but basically it's those two things. And anything that defeats your path, they blame on the thetan part of the brain, and they kind of use this, from my understanding, to manipulate you into staying into this church and the programs. And it goes really deep. And it was, you know, I saw several stories of people saying how they try to get out, and how they go stalkerish, and it was pretty intense stuff. If you guys are ever interested in something like this, I wanted, you know, you can go on to YouTube and look up all kinds of different video tutorials, but there's a lot of information on this stuff on there to bring you some more info. This particular topic I wanted to talk about, and as far as this religion, because there's so many different things that I've heard about this, and it goes deep with a lot of the celebrities being a part of this. He talked about how a lot of the celebrities that have been came forward and have been a part of this, those who decided to step out, would tell like all their crazy stories about their experiences with Scientology. And I think it goes a lot deeper than it's being led, but it basically there is a connection with, I believe, the cabal and Scientology and the entertainment business, and it's all connected. But I will get deep into that stuff in my podcast because that's what the podcasts are about, to get in a little deeper. But I wanted to touch base on this because I think it's a very powerful thing. I don't think a lot of people know too much about this. And I'm actually going to make some more videos on the steps on how, on then like once you start becoming of a more of a conscious being, like how to get there. I always talk about, like, eating healthy, exercising, meditating, and all that stuff. But there are levels to things of awareness. Like once you start digging for the light, and that is information, because it's a continuous thing, education of self-knowledge, and it goes all the way to ancient times into the present, all the way from the non-physical realm to the physical. So it's up to you to like go out there and seek it and learn it and share it. And most of us that are on that path, like, we feel called to share this stuff and this information with the world. I think it's a really awesome thing because for me, at least in my journey, the more I got to know myself, the closer I connected to spirit, the more deeper of a connection I found that I built with God. And I really love that. I really did love that. And it's brought me to a really powerful place in my life that I feel that I can share with myself and with my friends and my family and with the world, especially you guys here on my social media. And I think that's what it's all about sharing this information. Particularly, I wanted to bring some clarity on this subject because I know I've heard a lot of people talking about this, and there is, you know how it is. Information travels and travels, and we never really know what's going on until we do the research, which brings me to something. Everyone's going to tell you something on social media, okay, and the world. It's up to you to do the research and to back up the information that people give you. And take what resonates with you and what you feel works for you. Because what works for one person might not work for the other. But I'll tell you, there's some things that are real and they exist. And just because you don't believe them doesn't mean that they don't exist or someone else hasn't experienced this. We are all having different experiences. We are all living in a multidimensionality of a world, right? And we are co-creating that. So that means we're all having our own different experiences from day to day to day, from person to person to person, actually from moment to moment to moment. So, and that's the way it was created to be. So we can't like say, okay, well, what that person experienced doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, so it's not real. It just doesn't work that way. Like everyone's meant to have some type of experience, and a lot of us have similar experiences, which helps us resonate and bring some clarity and experience to the worlds that we co-create together as a family, especially as an online family. That connected mind that we have, because this internet thing is a connected mind, and we have to learn how to live through a connected heart. And how I feel that through my experience, how I've achieved that is through meditation, because we are quantum and we can communicate through telepathy, and because we vibrate and send out signals as individuals, but as a collective all together. We send that energy out into the world, and it's important that we develop a positive conscious process for that, so we can continuously be building for creation, not against it. Because you can either build with your words, you can build with your actions and build with your beliefs, or you can destroy. So for me, I have worked continuously to build with my actions, my feelings, my emotions, my thoughts, and my words, because this is how you co-create, because you are creator made in God's image, and this is the way the universe creates. So that's the one thing I want to stress to you guys in this, because that's something that religion really doesn't teach you, at least from the ones that I have studied. It's a belief systems that have been created through religion, and no matter what that is for you, I think it's important to understand the spiritual world, the non-physical world, the energy world, because this is science. It is this like proven through whatever physicality is. There's science behind it, and science to back up your experience and our experience. So for me, I want to say like this particular religion that I have studied, and I think I'll make videos of every single one that I have, to kind of help you bring clarity for you guys. But this one was scary for me because I feel that a lot of their practices are the practices that is practiced by spirituality in the positive light, but the darkness always also uses the same universal laws, okay, to build in that. And that's kind of scary. If anybody knows about this and has information about and has questions, or even have given any thought on like that's kind of weird or whatever you wanted to call it, I think it's kind of nuts. Honestly, like I think it blows my mind the how much similarity there is in that. And I think it's important to use the information, the light, in the proper way so we can build for each other and not destroy. And I think that's the moral of the story, if you will, for this video. And I hope that brings a little clarity for you guys on Scientology. I mean, that's just like the real basics. Like that is, it's the real basics, just to give you some general idea how this works. But it's like I said, it's always up to you to go and do the work to get yourself in that place, of like knowledge of the world and how it works and how spirituality works, or even Scientology or whatever religion it is that you feel connected with and resonate with, and you are giving your energy to. I would say make sure that you are like really looking into and doing the homework on what that is, because remember, you're putting energy into the collective. You don't want to just ride the collective, you want to be a part of it. That's the big difference. So I hope that helps. I want to just thank you for watching this. Thank you for the support. Make sure you guys are subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's all about getting this information out there and sharing it to help raise the consciousness and bring the light to the world, guys. So it's Sonia Tarenta and Soul Sense on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and here on YouTube. So until the next time, I love you. Namaste. And I'm going to slay my solidifiers. Until the next time. Peace. I'll see you then.